MS006 COM is a compact-sized test bench intended for fast and quality diagnostics of 12 and 24-volt automotive alternators under load of 50 amperes. Major components of the test bench: fixing mechanism with the chain for mounting the alternator on the car, two belt types, V-belt and poly-V-belt, power cable for connection of the alternator, set of wires to connect the test bench to the alternator voltage regulator, Bluetooth printer. Off-on button is responsible for switching the test bench power supply on and off. Emergency stop button is responsible for the test bench emergency cut-off. There are three control buttons. Electrical load is intended for setting electric load on the alternator, simulates power consumers in a car. Regulation GC is intended for setting alternator output voltage. Rotation speed is intended to control the drive rotation speed and direction. The basic control of the test bench is performed via the touch screen, and all the necessary information on the tested alternator, including the set and measured parameters, is displayed there. To start testing, mount the alternator on the test bench. Use a clamp to secure the alternator. Adjust and tighten the drive belt. Connect the black power cable to the alternator housing and the red one to the alternator positive output. First the red cable, second the black cable. When you do not know which control lead to connect to the alternator, search by the original number to identify the alternator type. Enter the original number found on the alternator housing into the search field. Upon the search completion, the following information will be displayed: basic characteristics, type, image, and marking of connection terminals. Use this information for correct connection of the control wires to the alternator. Press the test button to launch the diagnostics. Protective cover of the alternator drive. The diagnostics won't be run when the protective cover is opened. Turn the rotation speed knob to set the rotation speed in range between 100 and 150 rpm. Visually check whether the alternator is rotating normally. There should be no strong vibrations in the alternator. If there is a noise that indicates a mechanical fault, stop the diagnostics. By turning the rotation speed knob, continuously increase the drive speed up to 1200 rpm. The measured voltage value must get close to the preset 13.8 volts. Increase the drive rotation speed from 2 to 2500 rpm. The measured voltage must remain close to the preset 13.8 volts. The current oscillograph chart must show no big peaks. The values should fluctuate within the same limits. Rotate the regulation GC knob to smoothly change the alternator output voltage in a range from 13.2 to 14.8 volts. The measured voltage must change proportionally. Set the generation voltage as 13.8 volts by pressing the regulation GC button once. Rotate the electrical load knob to set load on the alternator in range from 40 to 50 amperes. The AC current value in the B+ circuit should not exceed 5 amperes. There must be no peaks on the current waveform. The values must fluctuate within the same limits. The alternator functions properly, so reset the values by pressing the control buttons. The alternator can be diagnosed in automatic mode. To do this, press the Auto button in the test menu window of the selected alternator type. The test bench will start to test the alternator in automatic mode. The screen will display information about the current status of the diagnostics process and parameters tested. Upon finishing the diagnostics, the autotest complete will appear on the screen. After completing the test, the result can be read and then printed out.